Hello everyone, this is Rocky and thank you so much for joining my channel. As 2021 comes to a close, I do like to take a look back at the year to see how things panned out. Like, what did I enjoy, what didn't I enjoy, or what did I learn, etc. So this is going to be the first year that I think that I'm doing this particular video where I recall all of my favorite and least favorite things of 2021. So I have my trusty list of things that I loved and didn't love so much, and I'm gonna go through them as quickly as I can because it's a long list and it could have been longer. So let's dive right into it. And I'm gonna start with something that's one of my faves. One of my faves was this Dries Van Noten wide leather belt, and this has to be my favorite, most versatile and flexible belt that I've purchased. I love how it elevates everything that I wear. Now that I've been working from home for almost 2 years, I'm gravitate towards the slouchy and things with no shape. Throwing on this belt has elevated my look just sitting at home without compromising my comfort. So definitely one of my favorite purchases this year. One of my least favorite items of this year, and it's not necessarily things that I've purchased, it may be things that just didn't give me joy this year, and that was a dress that I purchased from a brand called Bardot. I did a trunk club purchase and they put in this satin slip dress, which I knew I needed but didn't know I wanted or vice versa, I don't know. And this was beautiful red satin dress from an Australian brand called Bardot, and I thought I was doing the thing. You know, I styled it up once, and then after I wore it, I realized it started to fray in some of the most unusual spots. Like, this was a brand new dress. The very first time that I wore it, it got ruined, and I was so disappointed. I've never picked up the dress again, and I'm not ever going to buy anything from Bardot again. But that was one of my least favorite because I didn't get my cost per wear out of it. I was really disappointed by it, etc., etc. on the bad list. One of my favorite purchases was this deal that I got on a pair of Timberland boots. And when I purchased it, I just loved it for the sake of loving it. Look how it looks. It's a gorgeous caramel, between caramel and chocolate, or a burnt caramel kind of a color. I love this unique take on the Timberland boot. So I bought them, and when I rocked them, I got so many compliments and so many people asking where I purchased them from. So when I did buy them, they were still on sale, full price, and I just happened to luck up on maybe someone returned it. I have no idea, but it was a fraction of the price. And then by the time I finally decided to wear them, because, you know, I don't always wear my things right away, they were sold out pretty much everywhere. The only places you could get them were, you know, on consignment, secondhand, etc., etc. So I absolutely love this. I feel like I was in on a limited edition, and they bring me joy. I wear them whenever I can, with dresses, with suits, with jeans, with everything. So definitely a really good purchase, and I didn't spend a lot. A purchase that I'm really not loving at the moment, and you would have seen this in some of my videos where I experimented a bit with this, and I bought a new backdrop for my videos, and it is a contraption that, like, I don't know, it's like a curtain behind you basically, and the backdrop that came with the holder is maybe the size of a postage stamp. No, it's not that small, but when you think of the width that it needs to cover, it doesn't cover enough without you seeing sort of the edges of the room or the floor or the ceiling, whatever the case may be. So it wasn't a really good investment. The holder, I guess, is fine, but the backdrop itself is not so great. You've seen me do a few videos with it where you see like white brick or just a white background. That's what that was, and I'm like super close, nose all in the camera, because the backdrop didn't allow me to pull back and be comfortable and show you a little bit more of my surroundings. It's so small. So I'm going to have to invest in another backdrop, but that has to be one of the worst purchases I made this year. One of the great finds and purchases that I made this year was with the brand Alt Fragrances. First and foremost, I love, you know, the fact that we have brands that are duplicating luxury and designer fragrances for less, for those of us who would like to have that experience but can't afford it. But secondly, the thing that I really loved about my experience with Alt Fragrances is that they duplicated spot on. They duplicated a scent that I was pining over all year from Parfum de Marly called Delina, and it is an exact replica for a fraction of the price. I would say it's 10%, close to 10% of the price. And that was definitely one of my favorite purchases of the year. I wore it all the time, got tons of compliments, and it made me feel my best. So definitely on the favorite list. One of my least favorite things of this year were all of the plants that I purchased from Trader Joe's. None of them lived. None of them, I don't know if it's like the environment of my house or the plants themselves are not designed to last a long time, but I've purchased, I want to say, about 4 plants from them over the course of the last year, and they did not make it. I have one that's holding on and clinging on for dear life, but it looks pathetic. It's a curly jade. So what I've come to the conclusion of is that I am not a fan of their plants, and I will not be purchasing any more of their plants. No matter how cute they look in the store, I'm not buying it. So definitely in the bad list. One of my favorites of this year was my Apple AirPods. They were a Christmas gift from my husband last year, and they have been with me everywhere I go. They are compatible with my phone. I use them on my iPad, and most importantly, they work for me because my husband and I have different sleep patterns, and I'm able to watch all of my YouTube videos and edit my film and do all the things that I need to do on my iPad from bed without disturbing him. And then for work, sometimes I do have to take meetings on the go, and having earpods or AirPods in my ears instead of taking calls on my speakerphone or whatever the case may be is so convenient. So definitely a really good purchase. I have not lost them, knock on wood. I have not lost them yet because they seem to be prone to getting lost, but definitely in the favorite pile. On the not so favorite, on the least favorite, and it's not for lack of loving this item, it's for practicality. It is this Fila Belt Bag or bum bag. It's you wear it around your waist, or some people wear it cross chest, cross body. For me, and you can see the tags are still on them, I bought this from Louisa V. Aroma this year, and because I was doing a lot of the throwback and retro sneakers and retro vibes, I do have a few pieces from Fila and Fila-like apparel, and I have one pair of Fila sneakers. I just can't find the right time, place to wear this. For one, for two, it's white, so I'm concerned about getting it messy, and for three, it's not that big. It's really tough to fit my phone in it. In order to fit my phone in it, which is the main reason why I would want to carry it, I have to take the phone out of the case, which is very dangerous for your phone. So anyway, I have struggled with how to wear this. This is brand new. I may even end up selling it. I don't know what the original price on it, but definitely I got a deal. But I love it, but I just can't figure out a way to fit it into my wardrobe on a regular basis. So unfortunately, on the least favorite. The next one in my favorites category is a whole genre of things, and that's all of the retro sneakers that I purchased over the course of the last year. I realized mid-year, when I first decided to try to wear pumps, is that I have a hard time walking in heels now. And so, you know, sneakers and, you know, flats, boots, loafers have been my go-to, but mostly sneakers, because I have them in so many different styles and colorways. They go with so many of my outfits, and I've been relying on sneakers all year. When I leave the house, I throw on a pair of sneakers that you know, coordinate with my outfit. So sneakers for the win for this year. I love sneakers. They've saved my life, or else I'd have been barefoot out there. So sneakers is definitely on my favorites. On my least favorite is the eyelash curler. We talked about the fact that I feel like I have plenty of eyelashes, and I don't necessarily need to wear mascara. However, when I do go out, I want to zhuzh things up a bit. So I thought the answer would have been an eyelash curler. However, I've used the eyelash curler 0 times. So much I don't think I even know where they're located right now in my house. The reason why is because I am terrified of those things. They look like they would chop my eyelid off. I have no idea how to use them, so therefore they have stayed in the box since I purchased them. I don't know where they are, and that means it's in the least a favorite pile. It's not a good use of my money. The next thing on my favorites is the Adornia custom Laureate necklace, and this by far is my very favorite necklace of all time. So much so that I have two of them. I have them in silver and in gold. I bought it last year. I originally bought one last year for my birthday as a treat to myself. And then I experienced a little accident with my silver one that I bought for myself. I broke it and got it repaired. Adornia actually fixed it for me for free, which was, I wasn't expecting that. And then I ended up picking up a gold one to replace the silver one just in case I didn't get it fixed. So now I have it in gold and silver so I can wear it with just about every outfit that I have. But I absolutely love it. It's a conversation piece. It's sexy. It's unique. It's all of the things, so definitely in my favorites pile. There's one thing that does fall into my not so favorite pile, and that is a Jo Malone perfume that I purchased not too long ago. I purchased it full price from Nordstrom. It is a floral scent, however, it does contain musk, and I didn't realize that it has musk, and that's not one of my favorite scents. In the store, or in like just in the air, on paper, on the nozzle, whatever, it has a glorious, beautiful summery smell. On the skin for me, however, it ain't giving what it's supposed to give. It ain't giving it. So I haven't used it very often. It's kind of just sitting, and I'm upset about it because it wasn't cheap. I think it might have been $75 for this 1 ounce bottle of perfume, and it ain't working for me. So definitely in my least favorite, not a good use of my money, all of the things. I should have gotten a sample, tested it on skin for about a day or two, and then come back, which I didn't do. I impulse purchased. Bad. Another thing on my favorites list, which I happen to be wearing right now, is my Deer Foam slippers. I got these as, you know, a PR item from Deer Foams. They were kind enough to send me a few pairs in the mail, and definitely got me through this year. I'm working from home still because we're shut down. The offices are shut down because of the pandemic. That just won't go away. And I don't have the heat on during the day in my house, just to kind of be economical. And these warm, fuzzy slippers have gotten me through. I'm not walking around barefoot. I'm keeping my feet warm as I take my meetings from my desk, all of the things, and they are stylish. In my opinion, they're stylish. How can you disagree with that? Look how cute these are. And I have a couple pairs, so that is definitely in my favorites, and shout out to Deer Foam. Thank you. On my least favorite, for an interesting reason, is all of the suede loafers that I purchased. So again, I realized, you know, with this pandemic that we no longer had to beat up our feet with heels anymore. So I made an investment in a bunch of boots, you know, low heeled boots, loafers, and sneakers. And this is one of the pairs that I'm using as an example. But what I realized, that in a place like Chicago, and kind of like how I'm set up, I'm not all that neat. Suede loafers ain't the right thing for me because they get dirty, they get stained, all of the things. One of the favorite things that I will be getting to talks to this point a bit, but suede is hard to keep up for me. I talk about this all the time. My girlfriend, she has a suede purse that I'm so amazed she's kept clean for months now, but it ain't me. It ain't me. And I have these and I'm so scared to wear them. The first and only time that I wore these, I got some like grease or something on it. I cleaned it as best I could, and you can kind of still see it. At least I can see it. But suede loafers are my least favorite because they're hard to maintain. They look gorgeous. They're very super comfortable, but not practical for me. Not practical. On my favorites list is it's a very simple thing, but it has revolutionized the way I look at shoes in general, and it has changed my life. I love it so much that I have gifted it to several people. Like, you need this in your life, period. And that's this shoe cleaner. The shoe cleaner comes with a double-sided eraser, one for like rubber leather, the other for like suede nubuck. You can clean stains and scuffs and all kinds of things with the eraser part. And then it comes with a brush so that you can rub away the residue or any dust or debris from the shoes. Up until I had this, I would wreck shoes so easily and then just kind of discard them because I'm like, they're beyond repair. Now, every time I take off my shoes, I go through with this thing and kind of do upkeep in between. All of my shoes, pretty much all of my shoes, look brand spanking new as a result of just this little tiny investment. I clean them when I can. I take the time to make sure that my shoes stay pristine. Now I feel comfortable making investments in more expensive pairs of sneakers because I know I can keep them up. Now, some things are beyond repair. I just talked about loafers being my favorite. Grease on suede is the death nail. But anything else, I feel like this cleaner is a win, and it's such a small investment just to change how you are able to interact with and use your shoes. Game changer. Go get you one. One of my other favorite things is a category of things is all of the fun cardigans that I purchased this year. Again, I mentioned that I work from home and it's kind of chilly during the day. So having the option to layer over cardigans and still be stylish has been a game changer for me. It makes me feel good. I'm not necessarily going anywhere, but it definitely does something for me, making me feel like I'm put together. So I got a lot of different cardigans in different lengths, thicknesses, and designs. The grandma cardigan or the granny cardigan has been my go-to with all of the fun patterns on them. But yeah, definitely one of my faves. Another one of my faves has been the Dior Lip Oil, Lip Glow Oil. I have always used their Lip Glow Balm, but I just tried to dabble and test with the oil, and it became one of my faves, just hands down. It has this level of sexiness and appeal, and it pops the lips, and it gives you just a slight hint of a color, just so it kind of, naturally brings out the colors from your lips. Definitely one of my faves. So much so that I've been trying to convert the people around me to come around from whatever the heck they use. I don't know what they use. If it's lipstick, lip balm, lip whatever, you need the lip oil. You need the Dior Lip Glow Lip Oil. Not any oil, that one. So anyway, it's definitely been my fave, and so much so that I've been trying to convert people. So definitely in my favorite pile. On my least favorite has been HelloFresh. You guys know that I think you remember that I had an interesting onboarding or introduction to HelloFresh in the beginning, where they chucked the box over my fence on a hot summer day, and everything was spread out all over my lawn, and it was just a mess. So I didn't have a really good introduction to them, but it served me well during the pandemic for what it was. But then it got to a point where everything just kind of started to taste the same. I liken it to if you eat at the same restaurant every day. Yes, they have different dishes, but they all kind of sort of have a signature taste. You know you're eating that from that restaurant. You know the food came from that restaurant. And then so you start to long for different things. You want variety. So in addition to that, the prep time, the time that it took to prep and cook the food was, for me, really long. I'm not, by no stretch of the imagination, am I a chef, or am I, adept in the kitchen in that way to be moving around really fast. But so for me, HelloFresh had to go, and I stopped investing in that. And so we're going to end the list on a high note. We're going to end with something that's my fave, and that was something that I didn't even know that I needed. I purchased a wick trimmer from a local boutique here in Chicago, in Hyde Park, Chicago, called Shuri, S-U-U-R-I. And it is a mother-daughter team, Black-owned, woman-owned boutique here in Chicago, where they do custom curated jewelry. They support local jewelry designers. They have natural body products like soaps and oils and lotions and things like that. But they also carry little kitchen things that I really enjoy. And I got a pair of wick trimmers that I burn candles all the time, and I struggle with dipping into the candle trying to trim the wick. I learned a very, very long time ago that the best way to burn your candles is to trim the wick down to 1/4 of an inch. It burns your wax evenly and completely as possible when the wicks are lower and closer to the wax, but you don't want to cut it too short because then it drowns the wick. So anyway, that all being said, I know that little balance, and I have always been trimming my wicks, but it's a struggle, especially once your wax starts to go down. So this wick trimmer makes it an easy experience. It catches the wick that you've cut and all of the things. So I would suggest it. It's a very beautiful wick trimmer. I have a rose gold metal pair, and I would recommend checking them out online to see if you can get a pair online. If they so happen not to have any, go to Amazon. I don't know, but it's definitely a good investment for those of us who burn candles all the time. So that was a really long list. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I enjoy making these types of videos because I think they're kind of educational. I don't know. But if you enjoyed it, definitely give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with your friends, because my thought is, if you liked it, I'm pretty sure your friends would like it too. Ask me any questions you need to below. I would try to link as much as I can from my faves list now. I'm going to link as much as I can below, and be sure to come back if you love this type of content. Bye.